How do I deal with conflict?
Conflict is one of the best things that can possibly happen in a corporate environment as well as an individual environment. Conflict is good. It clears up those misunderstandings and it brings something to the surface that has to be dealt with. That's why 90% of the time I work with leaders, I try to teach them you do not lead with statements, you lead with questions. And 80% of all conflict can be solved through collaboration, which we're going to see in just a minute. The buck stops here for a reason. 85% of people quit their jobs, not the
Yeah.
company, but the manager or the
Yeah.
leader.
Yeah. Because when I took this assessment, it really increased my self awareness. Now, I'm all about emotional intelligence and neuroscience, Chuck. You know that.
Anybody that tries to sell you a conflict with the ABC method or the DESC method is a joke.
And that's what we're talking about is being more intentional. So, Chuck, now I want to move to my next question.
There is no one single approach that works for everyone in
Mm,
dealing with conflict. And that's getting what you want on the first try without stress, without the disengagement process starting up. You understand personalities.
yeah.
You can pick up on that. And a lot of people can't.
These mirror neurons are our emotional radar. And if you've ever walked in a room and felt the mood of the room, that's your mirror neurons telling you, is everybody happy? Are they sad? Is there something wrong?
The negotiator is an individual who wants to and is willing to give up something to get something. And that is the fact that a negotiator, compromising negotiator, is an individual that is going in there to win, but they expect to have to give up something to get what they want. They do not like confrontation.
For those that may not know what we're talking about, high SIC, high steadiness, high compliance on a DISC assessment, that basically means you are about pace and promise with the S. With the C, you're about facts and details. You don't like to make mistakes and you don't like conflict. You don't like confrontation. Some of the best answers in the room may be from the quietest people. That's why constructive conflict, I think, is so, so very important.
Studies show us 80% of all conflict can be resolved through collaboration. Ask people for their opinion and then do what you darn please. And there are 8 stages of conflict. Misunderstanding, which causes us to form an opinion or make an assumption. And then there's this internal discord. Half of the conflict cycle continuum is done before the other person even knows that they're in disagreement. But conflict is good. It tells us something's wrong. So fix what's wrong and make your life better. And if you take that constructive mentality into this process, you'll win. You
It,
will absolutely win.
it's the emotional triggers and the feeling of being uncomfortable or fearful or anxious or worried. It's those emotional drivers that are keeping people from moving forward productively with conflict resolution.